Welcome to the unit on Introduction to Textile Materials. This unit aims to provide you with an overview of fabrics. It explores natural and man-made fibers as well as various types of yarns. In particular, students will examine the influence of major fiber properties on the performance and appearance of fabrics. During this unit, students will look at the basic components of a textile fabric, which is important to learn the durability, hand, feel and look of the end product. This unit comprises of 4 modules and a final review section that invites you to reflect on what you have learned. By the end of this unit, students will be able to define basic textile materials such as fibers, yarns and fabrics. State the applications of textile materials. Classify the major types of textile fibers. Recognize various textile fibers. Match the textile fibers with their suitable end uses. List the different types of yarns. Describe the various types of yarns. Choose a yarn type for a given end use. State the popular methods of making fabrics. Recognize dyed and printed fabrics. In the first module, you will be introduced to textile materials and learn about the major applications of textile materials. The term textile is originally a Latin word meaning woven. Nowadays, it is applied to all kinds of textile fibers, yarns and fabrics. Clothing is one of the essential needs of mankind. The clothes we wear become the major application of textiles. Textile materials find application in almost all walks of life from morning till we go to bed. We find them in the toothbrush bristles, the carpet we step on, the dress we wear and the bed we sleep in. Here are some examples of fashionable clothing. Let's have a look at textile materials. Major applications of textile materials are classified as apparel, home furnishing and industrial textiles. Apparel are the textiles used in dress materials. Examples of apparel include blouses, trousers, shirts, saris and skirts. Home furnishing are textiles used in home interiors. Examples of this are sofas, cushion covers, curtains and carpets. Examples of industrial textile are bandages, filters, ropes, luggage and parachutes. Modern 21st century textiles are not restricted to apparel and home furnishing, but find huge presence in high-end applications such as firefighting suits, sutures and conveyor belts. This is an example of medical textile. Geotextiles are modern textiles used in civil engineering applications. Now, let us get into the basic building block of textile fabrics, textile fibers. The smallest unit of a fabric is a fiber. There are varieties of textile fibers derived from various natural and man-made sources. Fibers are short, flexible substances having high length to width ratio. They are fine, hair-like substances and form the building block of any textile material. Textile fibers must possess certain physical and chemical features to enable further manufacturing processes to become a useful product. They must be readily available and economical. Fibers of indefinite length are called filaments. Silk is only natural filament. Textile fibers may be broadly classified into natural and man-made fibers. Natural fibers are derived from natural sources such as plants or animals, while man-made fibers are manufactured either from chemicals or natural sources. Now, take a look at the chart and see the classification of fibers based on their sources. This is cotton, a natural fiber, and this is acrylic, a man-made fiber. Plant fibers are also called as cellulosic fibers. All plant fibers have good water absorbency, hence they are preferred for making products that require hydrophilic characteristics such as diapers and towels. They are also good conductors of heat and thus found to be ideal summer wear. As most of the plant fibers have low resiliency, fabrics made out of them wrinkle badly. Natural fibers, except silk, are usually available in the form of short fibers in the range of few inches. As we have seen, plant fibers may be obtained from stem, leaf, seed or even husk part of the plant. Fibers obtained from the stem of the plant are known as bast fibers. Examples of this are flax, hemp, jute and rami. Examples of leaf fibers are manila, sisal and pinna. Cotton is the most popular seed fiber. Coir is derived from husk of the coconut. Animal fibers are also called as protein fibers based on their chemical composition. Animal hair fibers are usually preferred for winter wear because of their excellent heat retention property. Wool has good drape, resiliency, texture and hand, thus making it a popular suiting fabric. They are also generally used for luxury products owing to their unique properties such as softness, lustre and fineness. Some of the special animal hair fibers sheared from various animals across the globe are alpaca, angora, camel, cashmere, llama, mohair and visina. Now that we have learnt about natural fibers, let us move on to man-made fibers. These fibers are manufactured either from chemicals or from natural sources. In the early 19th century, with increase in demand of textile fibers, they were manufactured mostly with the objective of imitating silk. Examples of man-made fibers include viscose rayon, nylon and acetate rayon. These are manufactured from natural cellulose or proteins, also called regenerated fibers. Examples of regenerated fibers include viscose rayon, acetate rayon, lyocell and polynoic rayon. The properties of these fibers have major relation to its raw material used for production. These properties may be manipulated depending on the raw materials, spinning method, condition and finishes. For example, viscose rayon is made from wood pulp and being cellulosic, it has properties similar to cotton. This is tencel, an example of regenerated fiber. Man-made fibers are produced from petroleum products which are melted and extruded through the tiny holes of a shower-like device called spinneret, producing long strands of fibers called filaments. Some of the most commonly used man-made fibers are polyester, nylon, acrylic, acetate and spandex. This is acrylic, an example of man-made fiber. Here is polypropylene, another example of man-made fiber. These fibers shrink and melt at high temperatures. They have high strength, elasticity and are suitable for making durable fabrics. However, most of the synthetic fibers possess poor water absorbency. The properties of fibers strongly influence fabric performance. These include resistance to rubbing, absorbency levels, elasticity, conduction of heat, lustre and resilience. Absorbency of fibers decides absorbency, comfort, warmth and static charge buildup of fabrics. Fibers which absorb water are hydrophilic fibers. Fibers which do not absorb water are called hydrophobic fibers. Most of the synthetic fibers are hydrophobic in nature. Fibers with good elasticity produce fabrics with good fit and appearance. Heat conductivity of fibers affects the comfort and warming effect of fabrics. Wool is a poor conductor of heat, so it possesses insulating characteristics. Fabric lustre depends on the fiber texture and lustre. Resilient fibers such as wool contribute to high wrinkle recovery. Thus, fabrics made of wool do not wrinkle. Now that we have seen about textile fibers, we move on to yarns and its types. The process of conversion of fibers into continuous strand by twisting into yarn is called spinning. Fibers are opened, cleaned, aligned and twisted to produce a yarn. The properties of yarn play a major role in fabric durability, hand, feel and look. We will now look at various kinds of yarn. There are different kinds of yarns like spun yarns, filament yarns, plied yarns, textured yarns, stretch yarns, high bulk yarns, fancy yarns and blended yarns. Yarns made of twisting short fibers are called as spun yarns. Spun yarn usually has a rough, fuzzy surface with protruding fibers. Fabrics made of spun yarns are prone to pilling and soil quickly. Generally, spun yarns are given varied twist levels, which in turn produce interesting fabric surface textures. Fabrics made of low twist yarns are soft, fluffy and absorbent and are used in making blankets, towels and infant wear. Fabrics comprised of high twist yarns such as crepe have good drape and pebble-like surface texture. Filament yarns are made by twisting fibers of indefinite length. They produce smooth and lustrous fabrics. Fiber strength is utilized effectively and hence stronger than spun yarns. Filament yarns may be monofilament or multifilament yarns. Monofilament yarns are made of single filament with no twist. Multifilament yarns are made of two or more filaments with slight twist. When two or more single yarns are combined by twisting, they are called plied yarns. Plying of yarns increases the quality of yarn, such as strength and uniformity. Plied yarns are widely used in knitting, sewing threads, and furnishing fabrics. Yarns made of synthetic fibers are given moisture, heat, or chemical treatment to impart new yarn properties such as bulk and stretch. Textured yarns have greater cover, breathability, insulation, and are softer and drier. However, they are prone to soil with poor resistance to abrasion. These textured yarns are used extensively in blouses, stretch hosiery, gabardine, and interlock fabrics. Yarns that have the capability of stretching are called as stretch yarn. It is generally made of elastomeric fiber spandex. They stretch to an extent of 300 to 500% of its original length. They may be used either to increase comfort in the garment or used in garments where holding power is required. Major application of stretch yarns include swimwear, active sportswear, gym clothing, bandages, etc. High bulk yarns are made of specially processed acrylic fibers which has exceptional bulk, loft and softness without stretch. Fabrics made of high bulk yarns are soft and luxurious. They are used for making high bulk sweaters, knitting yarns, etc. Fancy yarns have interesting surface textures and are generally used for decorative purposes. These yarns are manufactured with certain irregularities such as thick places, knots, curls and bumps. Typical fancy yarns are tweed yarn, slub yarn, spiral yarn, bocal yarn, chenille yarn and metallic yarn. Knot yarn, damru yarn, flurry yarn and mulled yarn are examples of fancy yarns. Tweed yarns are spun yarns which have short colored fibers twisted into it. This creates a heather-like effect in the threads. Slub yarns have short and twisted portions at regular intervals, having thick and thin places. They are found in drapery and upholstery fabrics. Spiral or corkscrew yarn has two or more plies which may differ in twist, size, type and color. Bocal or loop yarn has loops protruding from the surface of the yarn at regular intervals. Fabrics made of bocal yarn create a loop pile effect. This is a small bocal yarn. This is another example of bocal yarn. Chenille yarn has soft protruding fiber fringes on the yarn surface. They are used in furnishing and apparel. This is cut chenille yarn. The use of metallic yarns such as gold and silver in fabrics has been an age-old practice. These yarns have been replaced by aluminium or aluminized plastic yarns as metallic yarns in apparel and home furnishing fabrics. In recent times, ultrafine nylon or polyester films are being used as metallic yarns and they are found to be comfortable with good luster. Yarns made of two or more varieties of fibers are called blended yarns. It may be done to get a better combination of performance, characteristics as in polyester cotton blend, where the comfort property of cotton is exploited along with the durability of polyester. Blending may also be done to improve uniformity of the yarns or better texture, hand or fabric appearance. A little amount of rayon with cotton gives better lustre and softness. Blending may also be done to minimize fiber cost. Acrylic is blended with wool to minimize the cost. We now explore the fascinating world of textile fabrics. Yarns are usually converted into fabrics by weaving or knitting. Yarns may also be plied and used for certain applications such as sewing and embroidery threads. The process of weaving fabric from threads has a rich history dating back to Vedic era. Most fabrics used in clothing or home furnishing are either woven or knitted. Fabric is a flexible textile structure usually made of threads. Clothing fabric of ancient man dating back to thousands of years was made of fibers directly. Primitive methods of making fabric involve applying heat, moisture and physical force to animal fibers in order to interlock themselves and make a fabric. Fabrics may be made either by weaving or by knitting. The process of making fabric by interlacing two sets of threads is known as weaving. The process of making fabric by interlooping of threads is known as knitting. This image depicts the interlooping of threads showing warp and weft in a woven fabric. The vertical row of threads are called warp or ends, and the horizontal row of threads are called weft or picks. This image shows the interlooping of threads showing the veils and courses in a knitted fabric. Woven fabrics are flat, rigid and compact. They are produced with different textures depending on the order of interlacement of threads. Knitted fabrics are stretchable as the yarn loops offer movement. Knitted fabrics are more comfortable than woven fabrics because of its stretchability. They are bulkier than woven fabrics and are hence ideal for insulation and warmth. Woven or knitted fabrics since olden days have been produced with interesting colors for various applications. Color is an important attribute of textile material. Colors are usually applied to textile materials by either dyeing or printing with the help of dyes or pigments. Dyeing is the application of color as a whole fabric. Printing is applying color only at certain places, creating surface designs on the fabric. There are also varieties of treatments given to fabrics to enhance the physical and functional properties. They are called as fabric finishes. They may be done to impart softness, stiffness, or certain characteristics such as water repellency or fire retardancy. Understanding the basic components of a textile fabric is important to learn the durability, hand, feel, and look of the end product. The manufacturing and finishing of a textile product is a complicated process and hence requires long-term planning. You have now reached the end of this unit. To summarize in this unit, you were introduced to textile materials and fabrics in general and learnt about the major applications of textile materials. You were also given an introduction to natural and man-made fibers and learnt about the influence of major fiber properties on the performance and appearance of fabrics. The section on yarns explain how yarns are produced and classified. As explained earlier, most fabrics used in clothing or home furnishing are either woven or knitted, Understanding the features of various fabrics is critical to its correct application. Thank you.